What's going on YouTube? It's Colleen. Welcome back to System Triple O and Friend. I am Friend, and today we are going to talk about what you should do when someone tells you that they have DID. So DID stands for Dissociative Identity Disorder, and it happens when a child, most likely before the age of 5 or 6, goes through something traumatic that they cannot fully understand. And so through the process of structured dissociation, they remove themselves from the situation, and an alter, another personality, takes the memories of those traumas so that the child doesn't have to have them. That is like the briefest overview that I could ever give you. It's way more complex than that. There are a whole bunch of really complicated parts to it that I don't fully understand. But that's for another video. That's not for here. So the first thing that you should do when someone tells you that they have DID is to do your own research. Because just because they're a system doesn't mean they know everything there is to know about the disorder. And so I will be putting some resources in the description box if you are interested in finding out some more about DID. As well as, like I did in my last video, the link to the Facebook group and also to System Triple O's Tumblr. The second thing that you need to know is that alters are people too, so you need to learn about them. Learn about their likes, their dislikes, their names, how old they are, where they come from, if they're comfortable sharing things about their own lives, things like that are all really important to do so that they know that you are acknowledging them and that they are affirmed as their own person, because they are. And something to keep in mind is that not every alter in a system will want to introduce themselves to you, and sometimes not all of them will want to be your friend, and that's okay. Just like in the outside world, not everyone that you meet wants to constantly be interacting with you or even be your friend, and that's okay too. So just remember that alters are their own people, and so you might treat them differently than you would the host. So for instance, I talk to Casey a bit differently than I talk to Danny, because Danny's 10 years older than Casey is. And so we talk about different things because Casey's likes and dislikes are different than Danny's likes and dislikes, because they're two different people. Another thing to keep in mind is that asking questions is okay. If you don't understand something, or if you want to know about the inner world or anything about an alter, that's all okay. It's okay to ask questions if you don't understand or if you're curious, but for the love of God, just don't ask about trauma. Just don't do it. Just, the point is, don't ask about trauma. It's not something that a lot of people are comfortable talking about, and if they do feel comfortable enough to open up to you about their trauma, then your job as a friend is to be ready to listen to them and listen to what they have to say, because what they have to say is very important, and is something that they are choosing to share with you, and so you as a friend and as a supporter need to be willing to listen to that, especially because a lot of these things that happen that bring about DID are very heartbreaking, and very angering. Another thing that you need to remember is that the alters in your friend system or in your loved one system are not just like quirky aspects of your friend's one personality. They are actually their own people, and they need to be treated as such, and they needed to be acknowledged and treated with respect. And that leads me into my next point, is the most important thing of all is to be respectful and to be supportive. And it's very natural to be confused or angry or scared, or even to not fully believe this is something that is conceivable because it is a very big concept to wrap your head around. Um, and so asking questions and not fully understanding what DID is or why it comes about, those are all completely valid and okay, but you do need to keep in mind that you must be respectful and you must not dismiss these alters as a part of who your friend is. They are their own people. Um, this circumstance that your friend or loved one was put in is extremely unfortunate, but they developed DID as a way to protect themselves, as a way to survive. Something that I really want to stress though is that it is completely okay to ask who you're talking to. If you're texting with somebody and you're not exactly sure who's fronting, it is completely okay to ask, say, who am I talking to, or who's fronting right now, something like that, because you don't want to assume, because, you know, like I said before, Casey is very different than Danny, and so if I'm not sure who I'm talking to, I'm gonna ask. So once you do know who you're talking to, make sure that you're acknowledging them and that you're using their name and things like that, because you do not want to dismiss them, because again, like I've said, they are their own people that deserve to be respected and acknowledged, and so it's very important that you do so. So be on the lookout for a compilation video of bloopers, hopefully in the future, at least for me. I don't know if Danny or Ether or anybody wants to make one for their videos, but I find bloopers kind of funny, so I think that I will be doing that probably after my next video, because there are a lot of times where I can't speak, where planes fly right above my house, and there's a lot of yawning because I film this at night after I get home from work, but this is my last week of work, so hopefully we can figure it out. Anyway, thanks so much for watching, you guys. Have a great day, night, morning, wherever you are, whenever you're watching this. Yeah. Bye.